right?
I discovered if I put the pages on the box and let the light shine through...
What did you find?
3 separate areas. A total of exactly 500 locations. Not 499, not 501. 500. Plenty of room for a program to get the loot out of Waterman's. But it isn't a program.
So I see.
But these numbers aren't ordinary data.
Proof.
I find 3 areas of random-looking numbers, OK? I came in here early this morning, I found that.
The hell did you get this?
Well, the library here. It's just a standard book of random numbers. Every technical library has one.
It's just our man had one of these. I saw it once in his drawer. You could be as big a genius as he was. Now, tell me about your random numbers.
500 locations in 3 separate areas identified by numbers taken from here.
But what do they mean?
Well, they're covering the hole in the program. You put a string of zeros, somebody's going to spot it. These numbers are camouflage.
But you found it.
3 reasons I found it. First, I was looking for something. Second, I might just be a genius. 3, I might also have the same quirky mind as your crook.
Must be the company you keep.
Sorry?
Recap. You found a hole for a program to slot into. It does its job, then the camouflage pops back into place.
Exactly.
So, what goes in the hole?
Well, no idea.
Eh?
I don't know.
You don't bloody know?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, you must have some idea.
Not a clue. The weevil, you called it a weevil, can be loaded into these locations. All it needs is a few simple instructions. But those instructions are somewhere else.
A program hiding somewhere?
Yeah.
Do you know how many programs there are in Waterman's?
Well, I imagine there are millions of hiding places.
So we're nowhere. Typical. You watch the left, they get you with the right.
Well, I thought you'd be pleased about the hole.
I would tell you what to do there, but anatomically, it's surrealistic.
Oh.
Christopher, this is David Clement, Policy Director of Waterman's.
We met briefly, once upon a time.
Yes, indeed. Are you enjoying working here?
Oh, I'm fascinated by Waterman's funny little ways. Or did you want a serious answer?
Not really. We're in a mood for celebration.
Somebody's birthday?
The appointment of a successor to Martin Alloway.
Am I allowed to guess?
Yes, of course.
Cherchez la femme.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Your computer operation couldn't be in better hands.
That's certainly our opinion, Mr. Webb.
And I shall have to call in at the betting shop. I backed the winner.
Outside trap?
Sorry?
It's an expression you used to me once. Back the outside trap when the going's heavy.
This was an odds-on favourite.
I know. It was a joke. I never back favourites. But I think Waterman's have made exactly the right decision.
Good.
Does she know what I'm doing here? Will she be told?
I imagine it's all in Martin Alloway's files.
Good. I wouldn't want any secrets from Miss Owens.
Impossible. I should think she's even better than Alloway. Not technically. As a reader of character.
Eureka again. I think.
The king is dead, long live the queen.
I thought of that, but I didn't say it.
I heard the squeaks, thought it might be a mouse.
Head of a department allowed a locked cupboard, but the key seems to have disappeared.
I'm a librarian, really.
It shows. In this mighty empire you now control, is there anybody called...
No.
Pity.
If it would make you happy, perhaps we could hire someone called Smith.
Ah, silly, but I was talking to somebody at the weekend. He was fishing, as a matter of fact.
Fishing?
Yes, and we fell into conversation, and it emerged he knew somebody, thought he knew somebody, called Smith, who worked here.
No.
Friend of his son's, as a matter of fact.
What was his son's name?
I don't remember. I only remember easy names like Smith.
I don't believe a word of it.
You're a good judge.
Are you any good with this damn thing?
Will you give me the authority to attack your citadel?
If you mean my cupboard, yes.
Are you a specialist, Mr. Webb?
Just a good all-rounder.
Thanks for trying, Mr. Zombie. Will you hear my confession?
Oh, carry on, my child. I like anything of that sort.
Martin kept his personnel files in there. I want to know what he thought about me.
I know what he thought about me.
Really?
Sure.
Tell me.
What sort of father confessor do you take me for? But I am one hell of a locksmith. Well, now.
We all need a hobby. You seem surprised.
I didn't read the clues.
You didn't know?
I don't hear everybody's confessions.
I guess the first week I was here.
Woman's intuition.
Something like that. My God, look at that.
Trick photography. They use a special lens.
You're only jealous. It's a bit sad, really. Ah.
Is this one of his boyfriends?
Who?
David Clement?
Don't be ridiculous.
You liked him well enough to keep a photograph of him.
Strictly one-way passion, I'd say. I mean, I had a photograph of Brumus the bear. We never even met.
David Clement.
Hey,
You found something really filthy?
I'm outstandingly good. First-class, all-round professional. Private and confidential.
That's Martin Alloway's opinion of you.
It is.
They're one of those things about me.
Oh, yes. There'll be a file on Webb. Martin's assessment of your ability and character.
Am I allowed to look?
Certainly not. Classified.
Who gets to see it? Or is everything burnt first?
All this goes to Alex Harrington's office. It's his problem now.
His office here?
On level 3.
Ah, the red zone.
Deepest red there is. Now, what should we do with these?
You got shredding facilities?
Your telephone's ringing. Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
I think you mean oy vey.
You've never seen these in your life.
Oh, respect for the departed. I've never seen such a thing in my life.
Good.
May I look at just one?
Why?
Well, I've never seen such a thing in my life.
I'm sorry to bother you with personal messages when you're hard at work, but I've just realised something. Manchester are playing in town at the weekend.
Manchester? Oh, sorry. I hadn't realised that. I'll see if I can get some tickets.
I thought if I just said Manchester, you'd get the message.
I did.
I suddenly realised. That's where our Weevil's hiding. Do they have any programmers up there?
Just operation stuff.
Oh, so it's easy. Our man goes up there, puts in the patch.
In the holes you found?
So obvious. I was just sitting here thinking how would I do it. I thought, I'll get on a train to Manchester, fix it from that end.
Well, there you are. Copy of the Manchester listings. Plus, some core dumper found at the back of the file.
Hey, terrific.
It all makes sense.
Unless I'm wrong.
Look, Jake, I asked for these Manchester listings weeks ago. Never mind why. And soon after I did, our man got nervous.
How do you mean?
He did something that indicated nervousness.
What did he do?
Gave me a box of chocolates.
Eh?
In a manner of speaking.
Ah, see. No, I don't. Never mind.
How long will it take you to crack it?
Ooh. I've no idea.
Well, I'm not doing anything tonight.
I am. Ellie's preparing a special meal tonight. It's our anniversary.
You're too young to have anniversaries.
It's exactly 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Smell that. A major fraud. Crime of the century. Naming lights, Jake. You speak to me of love? 5 o'clock. She won't peel the potatoes yet.
No.
That's professional.
time do you make it?
About 5.
Oh, good.
I'm going off it, personally.
Well, I gave myself till 6. And I'm an hour early.
You've cracked it.
Try me.
From the top?
Yeah.
Okay. Weevil in Manchester. How does he come out of hiding and get to London and back?
It's a routine transmission. Computer to computer. Every night. On the dot of midnight I make it.
That ties in. They do a complete update of customer accounts starting at midnight.
Oh, so our man's first to get his hands on the cash.
Good.
Once he's grabbed the money, he calls down that set of random numbers I discovered. And that overwrites the Weevil program.
Covers up the hole.
It's clever.
The man's a genius.
It was.
Do you agree with me there are 3 programs?
3 holes, 3 programs.
I think it's a gang.
A lot of people involved.
No. A gang of programs. Like this. Robin Hood. Wheels. Carbon.
Explain.
This is my theory. You got to prove it. Robin Hood. He steals, right?
Every night.
Steals from the rich to give it to our man. Just a little slice of big company accounts where they won't notice. And if they do, Waterman's will apologise.
Call it a computer error.
Having stolen it, where does it go?
Into another account.
Account A.
Oh, but that's a real account.
Yeah,
a real bank.
He's got to do that. Otherwise, the books don't balance.
Ah, hang on. Our man walks into that branch, opens up an account, and suddenly large sums of money start appearing from nowhere.
That's where the wheels come in.
Wheels? Transport.
Yes, this account. It's more of a left luggage locker.
Got it. The second program.
The second program takes the money from account A and pushes it into a whole series of accounts at branches all over the country.
How many branches are there?
Over 1,200.
All that ties in with what's on here.
It's dead simple. He leaves instructions saying how much money is to be moved and where it's to be moved to, and it does it. Look, this figure here, 9,000. That looks like a hangover from a job Wheels did a few weeks ago.
You know, I spotted that one. I wondered.
Not only that, if required, he can pay money into any of the other major clearing banks.
Honestly?
I know that for a fact.
How do you know?
Parliamentary privilege, Jake. Let's say I know that it happened, and that's the main reason we're here now.
Well, it's a hell of a lot of trouble to steal 9 grand.
Oh, it's not bad. You can have a good night out for 9 grand.
But no, you haven't told me about Carbon. He repeats the process over and over again, right?
But I don't know how it works.
What about this? £1,252.47.
What about it?
Our account A, the left luggage locker account, always has this fixed sum in it. £1,252.
47 pence.
It's a really ordinary amount, isn't it? Not too big, not too small. It feels like an honest amount.
An initial dummy sum to set the ball rolling. Yeah, that's good.
Well, let's say you put that money into all these accounts. That could be the opening shot in the campaign. Then just feed in additional sums as you think fit. We could solve it in one.
How?
Account A, the clearinghouse, we know its account number. $734-282, branch 1053.
1053 is a Knightsbridge branch. It's huge.
5 minutes with the customer files.
Look, I've already told you, Alex Harrington won't let me within 100 miles of the customer files. They're happy to let their customers be robbed blind, but Harrington Says no.
Perhaps he's got something to hide.
No chance.
You sure?
Dead right, I'm sure. I know a villain when I see one. But no offence intended.
It wouldn't bother me unduly.
Explain yourself, young sir.
Somebody taking a few grand from Waterman's. Ellie and I were talking about it. We think they're capitalist hyenas. Or words to that effect.
You're not joking, are you?
Not entirely. I sort of believe it, but not passionately. I wouldn't ever do anything. And most of all, I wouldn't hurt anybody. I hate violence a lot more than I hate banks. Ellie says I'm a Marxist.
I see.
But not a proper one. She says I'm a Groucho Marxist.
She sounds a very impressive lady.
She impresses me.
How do I persuade Harrington to let me see their customer files?
Well, he's in charge of computer operation. Convince him there's something really catastrophic going on. His job's at stake, but you might be able to effect a cover-up if you can get to see those files.
It's possible.
Intimidation. Always works, in my experience.
Oh, you intimidate people?
No, they do it to me.
I can see why she fell in love with you.
I can't.
Chris Webb said
I was able to think like a skillful thief. Or words to that effect.
What about it?
Well, how does he know? Why did he choose me to work on the job?
Like the man says, it takes one to know one.
Do you really think I'm on the edge of serious computer crime?
Sure. Sounds like a lot of fun.
Oh, what larks. I think I'd draw the line at going to prison, though.
This had better be urgent.
it is.
I'm meeting with the board in 10 minutes' time.
Do you want to tell them someone's tampering with their computer operations?
Your last report was a clean bill of health, and now you're just tidying up.
This is a verbal report based on what I've discovered in the last 24 hours.
You said someone.
Yes. Martin Alloway.
Do I have to remind you that the man is dead?
He may be dead, but as far as I can tell, the program he patched into your system is still alive and well and running at a profit.
This is absurd.
And that's not my fault.
This isn't what I expected of you at all.
I thought it was what I was hired to do.
He was the best computer man I've ever had in this department.
Oh, yes. He's very good.
So, what do you want me to do?
For a start, I want your full support while I continue the investigation.
You may take that for granted.
Oh, I see. I was under the impression your instructions were for me to wind up the project and give you my final report.
No, forget that. Deadline scrapped.
Next, you have two choices. I can resolve the situation one way or the other, quickly or slowly. I want to do it the quick way. Less pain for everybody, less embarrassment for you if the result is positive.
How do you mean, the quick way?
I must have access to the customer files. Then I can trace the program back to its source.
You know the rules.
Rules are more important than a case of large-scale embezzlement. What the hell sort of bank is this?
You know my position on customer files.
All right, I quit. I'll confirm my resignation in writing.
Now, don't be silly. There must be a middle way.
Mr. Harrington, I know your position on customer files. What is your position about money being stolen?
Sit down again. Now, first of all, I cannot give you the authority to go into the red zone at the data center.
Don't you keep customer files anywhere else?
Yes, in the basement here. Now, I'm going to draft a memo from you to me, undertaking that you will not copy any of the private computer records, and that any information will be regarded as strictly confidential.
The only way I ever operate, Mr. Harrington.
We still need a signed statement to that effect.
Of course.
I shall also have typed for you a note of authorization to Mr. Tuckman. He's the head of the archives.
Thank you.
You had better be right.
Surely it would be better for all of us if I were wrong.
Perhaps. Wait here.
Your office at the data center, is it as impressive as this one?
I rarely see it.
What a shame.
Why do you say that?
I wondered whether you'd been through Alloway's personnel files. I'd like to know what he thought of me.
So would I, Mr. Webb.
I think you want to see that.
You based the data center, Mr. Webb?
Mostly.
Never get many of you people down here as a rule.
You might have had Mr.
Is he in security?
One of the computer staff.
I don't know him. You have a seat. That's all right.
Who uses the place then?
SD5 mostly.
SD5?
Security Division 5, fraud team. Had him in last week. Jumped up bookkeepers. Ask them what they're looking for, nothing. They keep shut. Big top secret act.
Do you mind if I start work?
Oh, if you like. That's what we're here for, I suppose.
Explain what you keep here for a start.
Branch files, customer files, cross-reference, and how's your father?
Doesn't look that much.
Well, that's just the index. The records are all through there.
Am I allowed through there?
Like hell. Nothing personal.
So what do I do?
Well, check through the index. Tell me the customer you're interested in and fill in one of these forms in triplicate.
Triplicate?
Yeah, just the account and branch number. So's our lords and masters know who you've been checking up on.
I see. Copies of the form go to...
Mr. Harrington, in your case.
Right. Am I allowed to take these down and look at them?
Of course you are. These are the branch volumes. 1,276. List the customers at each.
It's branch number 1053 I'm interested in.
Knightsbridge.
That's very good.
Do you know what the account number is?
I think it's 734282.
734282.
Yeah.
Mr. J.V. Smith. Well, if you'd like to fill the form in.
Look, tell me what to do.
Branch number, account number, your signature.
I shall be going back to data centre later. I can pass copies on to Mr. Harrington of these forms.
Well, no need. He called through. He's coming in the morning to collect them. Didn't he tell you?
No, he didn't mention that. Probably I wasn't listening properly.
Yeah, it happens.
Cheeky sod, Martin. One day we'll go around the world. Me and Smith. Mr. J.V. Smith. That's the left luggage locker at the Knightsbridge branch.
So what next?
I went through all the other branches checking to see whether there were any other J.V. Smiths.
Oh, it's a bit basic and primitive.
Do you want to see what I found?
Yeah, go on.
I found 256 accounts, all for J.V. Smith.
That's ridiculous.
It worked.
Oh, we found out.
It was sheer fluke that we found out. And try this. He puts the initial sum into each account,
£1,252.
which acts as a signal. So they all get another 9 grand.
And he does that 256 times.
£1,252 plus 9,000 multiplied by 256. Work it out.
£2.5 million.
It's based on a lot of assumptions, but
Yeah, but who's got the time to belt around 256 branches, opening up accounts and drawing out money in cash when the moment suits him?
it's just possible our man did it by himself. Or he might have had people working for him. I'll try and find out.
Did I tell you before? I think he's brilliant.
That's one of the things that bothers me.
How do you mean?
He's the fox, we're the hounds. We're getting close to him. And I think he might set a few traps.
Oh, like what?
Strictly between you, me, and the terminal.
Go on.
The man died, right?
Yeah, you told me.
Leaving behind all his personal files,
Yeah,
including his remarks about members of staff,
like you.
like me. And he knew I was onto something.
He might have tried to stop you.
Indirectly.
No problem. You need to read the files, see what he said.
They are safely tucked away in Alex Harrington's office in the red zone at the London Data Centre.
Well, make an excuse to wander into the red zone. Say you were bursting for a top security P.
I don't even know where the office is.
Well, you need a set of plans for the data centre.
And some duplicate keys, yes. There's nothing to it, really.
I might be able to get you the plans.
You serious?
Yeah, fairly.
How can you get the plan?
Oh, I'm not saying.
J. Kennedy, I begin to think you've got criminal tendencies.
It's just Groucho Marxist, that's all.
Let's get a few things clear.
Okay.
Under no circumstances would I even try to break into the red zone at the LDC.
Oh, I imagine the security is pretty tight.
Tight enough to strangle any intruder. However, I would be interested in seeing a set of plans just out of idle curiosity.
What can I get you, sir?
Nothing, thank you. Mr. Gates,
Yeah?
you work at the bank?
Yeah.
Assistant manager?
That'll be the day.
Any of your colleagues coming here?
Not at lunchtime. Sometimes in the evening.
I won't beat about the bush. I need some unconventional help. If you say no, I fully understand. If you say yes, there's money in it. Cash. Use notes, you might even say.
What sort of help?
Information about a customer.
That's against the rules.
I'll give you my word, there's nothing crooked involved. The man owes my client some money, but there's no point in suing him if he hasn't got any. We're the good guys, promise.
What are you, an inquiry agent?
I'm an agent and I'm inquiring, so sort of.
I can be sacked for giving information.
That's why I'm paying you cash, not that there's any risk for you. You slip back to the bank now. You lost your wallet and you want to buy your wife a present. You married?
Yeah,
Kids?
2.
Far more presents. I'll give you 50 quid for the basic stuff about his account. The same again if you can tell me anything about him. And I'll get you another drink in while you're away.
Who's the customer?
Smith.
Smith?
Mr. J.V. Smith.
Can't place him.
Try.
You realise...
I realise everything, Mr. Gates. I am not twisting your arm.
What's your name?
You've never seen me in your life.
Ten minutes.
Another lager, is it?
Please.
How's the cheese on toast?
Sensational. What do I have to do to earn it?
We were talking in bed one night,
What a waste.
and you told me about some friend you knew at college who became an architect. And I said something about the London data centre where all that computer output came from. And you said your friend did the drawings when they built the centre. And we both agreed it was an interesting coincidence.
Pretty boring, too.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I'm fascinated by data centres. And I'd very much like to see a copy of the plans.
For this, I get cheese on toast.
Plus a percentage of my career earnings. Am I asking the impossible?
Could well be fairly easy.
Good. This friend of yours, a male friend or a female friend?
Yes.
You'd gone.
Just wanted to be sure you were on your own. I know all about SD5.
Do you?
Well, most. There's your 50 on the nail. What do you got to tell me?
The name's Smith. James Victor Smith. He's in credit. £1,252.47 pence. He's been with us just over a month. Seems before that he was with a branch in Knightsbridge.
Only 1,200.
Were you hoping for more?
A little more.
You're in luck. There's going to be more.
Really?
He's selling a flat in South London, moving into this area. He's expecting to get 9,000 for the lease.
9 grand.
Is that what you wanted to hear?
It'll do nicely.
You said something about another 50.
What'd he look like?
I thought he was your client.
What'd he look like?
An ordinary sort of bloke. Thin, northern sort of accent. Well-spoken, well-educated, but not very tidy.
Dirty?
Just a bit scruffy. I remember thinking, if he's got that much money, why doesn't he buy a new raincoat?
Is that him?
That looks like him. Hat on? Yes, that's him.
Congratulations. You just won a major prize.
Is that it?
Sure.
That's all you need to know.
The world is a very simple place, Mr. Gates. Learn that, and you'll soon make branch manager.
Won't you have a drink?
Never touch the stuff.
Jake Kennedy wants to see you. Urgent.
In his office.
Basement. He's got something to show you.
Goody, goody.
Personal question, Chris.
The answer is no, but I hope we can still be good friends, Susan.
You're not dragging Jake Kennedy down with you, are you?
No idea what you mean.
I mean, I reserve the right to warn him about the company he's keeping.
I never take anybody any place they don't want to go themselves.
I know. That's the reason I threw you out. Is it the same reason your wife threw you out?
Look, I am the best computer man in the business. That's all you or Jake or anybody else needs to know. And tell him what you like.
Okay.
So, what do you got to show me?
Plans.
Plans?
Waterman's. Data center. Red zones.
How the hell did you get those?
Cheese on toast.
Are silly questions.
Not only that, they're on a disc.
The plans?
Apparently all the best architects' offices have them these days. A London data centre. Level 3. Red zone. Voila. Now, it doesn't say which office belongs to which hyena, but there's a bank of private offices along here, look.
Right.
And I know you're not planning to break in, but I can tell you how to do it. Theoretically.
You're going mad, Jake.
Well, if you're not interested.
Tell me, theoretically.
Well, first of all, you can't get in by an entrance. Hidden cameras, all that stuff.
Bells ringing.
Yeah, right. But supposing you were to go in by an exit.
How's an exit different from an entrance?
Fire exits. There, look. I bet it's against the regulations to use them, except in cases of fire.
It is. I've read the book.
Yeah, but from what you tell me about the building, I think the staff on level 3 might well use the escape stairs instead of the lifts if they're going for coffee. Or if they're going home, especially if they're on the tube, because the station's that way.
There's self-closing fire doors.
So theoretically, I'd find a way of fixing one of the doors so when somebody comes out, it doesn't close properly.
It's a beautiful theory. Now, let's forget it.
Oh, shame.
It's the cheese on toast I don't understand.
sir.
Good night. I don't know what Martin said about you. I haven't had time to read it yet.
Maybe it isn't relevant anyway.
Probably not.
Do you often work late?
Only when members of staff are keeping unusual hours.
Even consultants?
Especially consultants.
You don't seem surprised to see me.
I was expecting something along these lines.
Matt?
Please do. I'd offer you a drink. These are strictly dry premises.
Mustn't have people behaving irresponsibly.
That's a curious observation. What the hell are you doing here?
Completing my report.
Did you discover anything from the customer files?
Yes, I can confirm that Martin Alloway was taking money from Waterman's. I believe the program had a self-destruct mechanism, and you may relax on that score. I think Alloway wanted to run away with David Clement.
I see.
I'd guess David Clement didn't want to run away with Martin Alloway.
He was aware of Alloway's admiration, but it was strictly one way.
Fancy having all the money to travel the world and no one to share it with. What are you planning to do with your £9,000, Mr. Harrington?
What do you mean?
When I met your selection panel, I told them I go in all the secret places. Martin Alloway paid £9,000 into your bank account. I can even give you the date of the transaction if you like.
It isn't what you think.
17th of July last. I went to see your Mr. Tuckman. Checked your file, and a few others. You'll get a carbon copy of the little piece of paper first thing tomorrow.
How much else do you know?
I'll tell you what I guess. You thought Martin Alloway was spending too much time away from London. You also thought he kept too much information to himself. So you challenged him and zap, the £9,000 into your bank account. And he's got you over a barrel. You're terrified to bring it into the open.
That's near enough the truth.
And you hired me to check the system and made it as difficult as possible for me to get any information at all. You stacked the cards. You probably let Alloway in on the secret, too.
Think what you like.
I'll give you what you want.
What do you mean?
I'll write a report saying everything is in good order. Newton Data believes in looking after its clients.
What do I do with the money?
Kick it about till you lose it. Give it to the third world. I couldn't care less.
What else do you want, Mr. Webb?
I'd like to stay on for a while.
Stay on.
Business is a bit sluggish. When this assignment is completed, there's no real work in view. Another couple of months at 250 a day would be very acceptable.
My God.
There must be something you need checking. I promise it'll be okay.
Blackmail.
Just a consultancy fee. That's all I am. A humble consultant.
I've never met anybody as loathsome and disgusting as you.
Yes, you do. Every day of the week. But I own up. What's the only difference?
I think I owe you an apology.
Do you?
Alex Harrington's told me exactly what you're doing here.
He's told you I'm doing 2 months on the credit card system.
Yes?
I'm just a simple homespun consultant.
Yes, sure, I know that now, but I really did think you were...
Planning to rob the bank.
More or less, yes.
There was a time when I thought the same about you. But still, I hope we're good friends.
Good friends. Though professionally speaking, I shall still be keeping my eye on you.
Oh, I hope you will.
We've got 2 months.
Yeah.
Son of Smith.
Sons of Smith. You sure about this, Jane?
Oh, I told you. The hyenas.
Okay. Think of a name.
Oh, I've thought of one. W for Webb. K for Kennedy. There, look.
I could learn to like W.K. Jones.
Oh, decent chap. First class honours, you know.
I hope you realise, Jake, when the revolution comes, we'll get shot by both sides.
Oh, wrong, Chris. This is the revolution. And we are the Supreme Soviet. Oh, can I ask a question?
Sure, we're partners.
While I was waiting for you, I was looking at that game I invented. You know, the one about dragons and fair maidens. And I found something.
What? What'd you find?
Some program about watermans. All about options. And choices. You've erased it.
Yeah.
Well, I want to see who wins. You've taken the ball home. Something to hide?
Nothing is worth troubling that double first-class brain of yours. It wasn't much of a game. We've got a better one now.
W.K. Jones.
W.K. Jones.